Time now for the voice of the land on the Big Play Network with your hosts, Kevin Arnold and Always Positive Jay.
Gavin Williams is just one example of young players that have been called up. We're still in that cycle. While this team still has the ability to contend, has the talent to contend, they aren't playing well enough this year to be, even if they win their division, you look at them right now, season ends, you're not picking them to win the World Series. You're not picking them to even probably win the first series that they're in. You're hoping that they do, but if you're being realistic, you're not picking them because, yes, pitching has been good, bullpen has been inconsistent, offense has been picking it up, but we're playing the Oakland Athletics, the worst team in Major League Baseball. We didn't score until very late last night, and then we get the walk-off hit by Andres Jimenez, who's been hitting a lot better. Just heard Tom Hamilton on the broadcast say over the last 19 games he's hitting .308. That's more of the all-star second baseman that we expected than the guy that was hitting below .240 for most of the start of the year. Myles Straw is hitting below 175 with runners in scoring position. That's a guy you want on base and getting on base, and if other guys are on, you want him knocking things in and then use his speed because it should be, in reality, it should be Straw at the 9 hole and Kwan in that 1 hole so that, hey, Straw gets on, and then you got a danger to run, whether it's 1 out or 2 out. Kwan getting on. Boy, have people adjusted to Steven Kwan. I'm not saying he's having a bad year, but for what he showed us last year, he hasn't fully made that adjustment back. Am I wrong in saying that, Jay? I haven't seen that full adjustment back. Now that
I would say a sophomore slump. I don't want to say that, but he's not what he was last year. And what he's last year, that's quite obvious.
Yeah.
Of course, pitchers are going to adjust. They're going to figure out what you don't like and what you like, and they're not going to give you what you like anymore. Obviously,
it's 4-2, guys. So we're
back.
We're back in.
And if whatever Galvin does say, let's not worry about it. This dude, he's got a long way to go till he becomes who he is. But something you said, and it struck me, and it's been bothering me all week. We're not going to win the World Series. You don't think we have the roster. So what are we doing? We were supposed to be ahead of the game, and now we're going backwards. That's why I don't know what do you trade Shane Bieber or do you start trading these prospects? I keep hearing everyone say, "Oh, we just got to win the division and just get into it. You just got to get into it and you got a chance." I'm so sick of just get into it and have a chance. Dude, what is it, 75 years now we have not won a World Series?
We have the longest active streak of not winning a World Series.
The Chicago Cubs were like, you know what? Let's just get into it, and we got a chance. No, they put a stacked lineup together, and they beat our ass and came back and beat us in Game 7. I'm still not over it.
Did that roster implode without them doing much after? Yes, but
guess they did. What? Got it done. They went all in.
The trophy is still there.
And they went all in, and they ended their curse.
Yes.
What are we doing? We have all these great pitching prospects, and we're wasting all this stuff. I need something, dude. I can't. I feel like this year it's just a waste. We're just waiting for us to get to the playoffs so we can possibly get in and lose again. We don't have the horses to win this.
And guys aren't playing up to their
potential.
Up to their potential.
Even if they were, do you really think this lineup could go against the best teams in the majors? I doubt it.
I doubt it, and I wish that the Guardians, being up 2-1 last year, would have taken care of business against those stupid Yankees, because then that would have proved what they're doing really is different.
But their margin for error, because they were when we had Chris Rose on, you had to string all these hits together.
Yes.
Great pitching started kicking in, and they just hit some home runs and beat us, dude. We need to hit some bombs, man. I'm so tired of not hitting these home
And it's so when people say power in baseball, it doesn't always have to go over the fence, but you got to find the gaps. If I'm able to watch a game, whether it's our hometown announcers or the national announcers on FS1 or ESPN, whatever it might be, man, you hear the crack of the bat, and it sounds okay, and the announcers get really excited, and it just goes right to a guy. But when you hear that true crack of the bat from other teams, it doesn't always go over the fence, but it's bouncing up against the wall. Guys are getting doubles. They're stretching them into triples. We had started to do that recently. Some of the guys that started to pick it up. I know a lot of people are on Ahmed Rosario. They want to see him gone. You know, he's kind of that next scapegoat. Mike Zunino's gone, everybody. So, like, now we got to latch on to that next person to blame. I've even heard people...
It's Josh Bell. That dude has not lived up to what... Like, that's the thing. Like, we're so smart of an organization. But we, like... Imagine if we would have just taken what we paid Josh Bell and got a legit real hitter. Like this... What I tell you when we came in here, Peter? We had 2 on. And I was like, oh, Josh Bell's up. Stop listening. I knew it was going to happen. I knew he was going to get out.
Well, and he got out again, too.
There it is. Boom.
Okay, so,
like this dude.
But we are now only down by 1. It's 4-3.
He needs to pick it up.
Well,
like, he needs to live
right.
up to that contract that we signed him to. We need his production.
I'm just looking up his stats this year because I know some of these websites, they kind of break it down like the last however many games. I'm heading to MLB.com. Luckily, I'm attached to the Wi-Fi here. So splits. Let's go I'm going to look at last 15 games here. So he's got 50 at-bats, average of 260 with 3 home runs and only 7 RBIs. I think he said
Josh Bell.
He's hit the solo home runs, slugging percentage of 500. The one metric that I think people are looking at, well, it's OPS, but they don't have that for this. But you know, we go to the last 7 games though. He's kind of taken a trend back down. He's only hitting 190 over those games, and he's got 1 home run and only 1 RBI, so a solo home run. He does have a few walks in there, which kind of playing that Santana role. Yes, Josh Bell has been disappointing. I think we'd seen. I feel like he's a streaky hitter, especially at this point of his career. Like I wish we had the Pittsburgh Pirate version of Josh Bell, and I know his name had come up several times because Pirates were always in sell mode, but we couldn't get him at that point, and now we get him like a few years down the road.
Well, we've got a comment here from Eric Nanarone that says it's time to move on from Miles Straw. Biggest problem is that the minor league system can't develop offense consistently.
And that's something that we've touched on this show. Like I know I've been on that. I feel like I've probably metaphorically burned the ears of some people that I've vented my frustrations to about this team. Is I love that we can develop pitching, and pitching does matter in baseball. But you gotta be able to have a lineup out there that pitchers have to plan
worry
for.
About. You're worried.
Now, good third inning to respond after the 4 spot from the Athletics to get 3 there. To get back in the game, maybe Gavin Williams gets a little bit more confidence going in there. I know that he's amped up. He's got over 50 members of his family at this game.
That's what I'm saying. Like, how we're going to judge him today, like he may have that bad inning. If he bounces back and finishes the game good, that's a great sign.
Right. Bybee and Logan Allen, those are really good young pitchers. They had good first outings. Have they had some rough ones, especially Bybee? Yeah. But like we're glancing over those because the first one was so good. After this one, I already know what fans are going to do. They're going to question whether he's actually that number 1 prospect. He can't do it against the worst team in baseball. News to everybody, the jump from AAA to the majors is a much bigger jump than any jump you make within the minor league system. And these are still professionals. The Athletics had been on a 7-game win streak. When there's confidence in a clubhouse, like it's that means something in baseball. As bad as their record is, like, they're already like way out of it. They're just going out there and playing baseball. They're playing a kid's game. You can't take anybody for granted. If you're supposed to beat these teams, you're supposed to beat the White Sox. You're supposed to beat the Twins more often than not. You're definitely supposed to beat Detroit. Definitely supposed to beat Kansas City. We haven't played Kansas City yet, but Detroit has kicked our ass. You're in a terrible division. You're only 1 game out from the lead. Everybody's below 500. So yes, the division is attainable. But that's just not enough anymore for what you have shown us.
Exactly. This is why I want us. Everyone keeps asking. We're getting close to the trade deadline. I need to be a buyer. I need them to be a buyer. I need them to be major buyers. It's time to go all in with this team and do whatever you have to do and open that window up for a World Series run and don't close it until you win one. You don't stop. Like, I'm tired of we ain't got the money and blah, blah, blah. No excuses. Go get what you got to do.